The 15th of April 2017 was the last time Old Belvedere played an AIL 1 game on home turf. A tough loss to Young Munster committed them to the 1B grind for an 8-year term. It's autumn 2025 and Old Belvedere are back where they firmly believe they belong, at the top table of Irish Club Rugby 1A competition. Last season proved to be the coming of age for this still youthful Old Belvedere squad, a 1B crown and a promotion bringing the good times back to Ollie Campbell Park. For their opponents Ballynahinch, they've also been on an upward trajectory. 3 improved top 5 finishes in a row suggest it's only a matter of time before they finish in the playoffs. It's round 2 of the Energia All-Ireland League today. It's great to be back. Both teams looking to build on opening day victories. Who will come out on top today? A strong wind here in Ollie Campbell Park, as you can imagine. And we'll go through the teams. Hooker Callum Dowling, a hero in these parts, starts alongside reliable Hugh Flood and his schoolmate Ryan McMahon. Fionn McWay has AIL know-how beyond his years and starts beside Eddie Reese in the engine room. The only change for Old Belvedere today comes in the back row, with New Zealander George Mitvin getting his first start at number 8. The backline sees Chris O'Connor and David Wilkinson continue as halfbacks, and it's 58 consecutive AIL games for centre Jaden Beckett now since moving from New Zealand. And watch out for the new boy at fullback, Morgan Meredith. Now let's look at the visitors. To the visitors, they're led by Clayton Milligan at hooker. Joe Malwini makes his first AIL start at the club at tight head since moving from Ballymena. Declan Horrocks and Ryan Connolly account for the second row, before there's a back row full of ability, the experienced Bradley Lunny, Zach McCall and the impressive Bryn Ward at number 8. Ulster's James Humphreys starts at 10 alongside Chris Gibson at 9. Mark Best is the talisman in the centre, and to their delight, they have the services of Ulster regular and Irish international Rob Ballacoon, who needs minutes in his return from injury as he looks to get back into the Ulster setup this season. A crowd slowly building here in Ollie Campbell Park. The first 1A game on this turf in 8 long years. The occasion has been building. The anticipation has been there all summer. Now we're here. 1A rugby back in Ollie Campbell Park. We just wait for the teams to come out. Of course, a couple of Ulster players within that Ballynahinch selection. James Humphreys was the 24th man for Ulster last week in their round 1 victory against the Dragons. And Rob Ballacoon only playing for the second time for Ballynahinch today. Hoping he matches his effort where he scored a hat-trick against Trinity in his only previous cap for the club. Old Belvedere, plenty of new faces this season. Chris O'Connor at number 9, Morgan Meredith at 15, George Mitvin at number 8. Without the services this year of Cale Thatcher, who became a stalwart of the club in his 3-year period here. And the Old Belvedere Minis are forming a guard of honour for their heroes. It's great to be back. The AIL, the best league in the world. The air of anticipation, it's building. The excitement, as I said, been there all summer. Old Belvedere back in the big time. Back in the big leagues. Started with a victory last weekend, 23-13 against Nina Ormond. Tries from Will MacDonald and Luke McLaughlin. Can they make it 2 wins from 2? Ballynahinch, tough opposition. Been on the brink of breaking into that top 4 for 3 seasons now. Always improving. And they feel like this is their time. This is their season to do it. The tests keep coming in 1A of the AIL. Relentless. Big game after big game. And what role will Rob Ballynahinch have to play today? A seasoned pro. Over 70 caps for Ulster. 4 for Ireland. Will he be the difference maker? Or will the heroic Colm Dowling lead Belvedere to yet another successful victory? And here come the boys. Of course, a double header here today in Ollie Campbell Park. The ladies in action after this. Ballynahinch to the left of your screen. And here come Belvedere. Hear the home roar. Led out by Colm Dowling. George Clancy, an international referee, is in charge of proceedings today. And it'll be James Humphreys, son of Ulster and Irish legend David, who gets us underway. Ballynahinch on the left of your screen. Belvedere to the right. And we're up and running for another season in Ollie Campbell Park. Meredith knocks it into touch. An early line out for Ballynahinch. Clayton Milligan, like Colm Dowling, the hooker in this team, but also the captain, scored a try last weekend, and he was their top try scorer last season with 9. His first job at the line out. Horrocks goes up. Ryan Connolly, I should say. Gibson gets his first touch. Mark Best juggles with it. A chance to get an early look at this Ballynahinch attack. Pierce Crowe is held up in the tackle. Can he make it to ground? He does really well there. And they have the penalty as well. Not rolling away from old Belvedere. Ryan McMahon is the player to be punished. And they're going to go for the 6 early on here. Or they're going to go to the corner, actually. James Humphreys. He'll have ambitions of playing for Ulster this season. He made his Ulster debut against the Bulls last season, following in the footsteps of his father. And now a first line out in the red zone. Can Ballynahinch convert early pressure into points? Lunny, ever reliable, goes up. Milligan has it at the back. He loves these sort of situations. Gibson takes it out, feeds it to his runner. Ballynahinch using the forwards, fronting up. First touch for the loose head. Matthew Burke. Milligan goes again, steps, gets a little bit of go forward. Here's McCall. They switch the direction of the attack to Mark Best, but the old Belvedere defence standing strong early on, absorbing the pressure. Gibson, slow ball, goes left. Humphreys tips it on. Slow, patient build-up from Ballynahinch. Milligan involved again. Edging forward. Here's Bryn Ward, but he's smashed as Belvedere get up in his face. Best out the back. Humphreys. Here's Sexton. Tries to release the pass, but has to go to ground. Defence doing a good job at the moment. But Ballynahinch still where they want to be. Still grinding it out. And another penalty. An easy 3 if they want it. But they've came for the tries. They're going to back their pack. Milligan receives his instructions. Brought down. The maul is moving. Just short of the line. Lunny goes. Is he over? It's another penalty. Or in fact, it was a try for Bradley Lunny to get us started. And the perfect start for Ballynahinch. Connor Rankin is unsuccessful with the kick. 5-0 Ballynahinch, and Bradley Lunny 2 tries in 2 games. How will old Belvedere respond? They haven't had any of the ball. $5-0 down to start life at home in Ollie Campbell Park in 1A of the AIL. Mark Best runs onto it. Gibson getting organised. Sticks it up into the sky. Well taken by O'Connor. And he was hit before he got the ball. So a penalty to Old Belvedere. And a chance for them to get a riposte. And a first throw for Callum Dowling. 16 tries last season for the Old Belvedere top try scorer. But that's no surprise. He's been the top try scorer in Ollie Campbell Park for consecutive seasons now. McWay, so reliable from the line out, but it's brought straight down. Callum Dowling, he has to use it. Shouts of a high tackle. Clancy not budging. Here's the beast, McMahon. MacDonald got a try last week. O'Sullivan, the new man, spots a half gap. Leonard, and they spread it out wide. And Andre Ryan, it just didn't land for him. A tricky bounce. He couldn't regather it, but they have the penalty. Big decision to be made here. But given the fact that it's pretty tight to that corner, Belvedere will back their line out. Andre Ryan probably thought he was in for a try, but the bounce, it didn't favour him. McWay again, no surprise there. But it's messy ball. No chance for them all to get going. O'Sullivan around the fringes. In tight. Here's Flood. Almost there. They can smell the try. Patience the key. McMahon, the beast. Will he be the man to get them over the line? Not quite. They have to go again. MacDonald. And Belvedere do get the try. And it's the big man. On his 50th cap, Ryan McMahon, the beast, gets the first try in Ollie Campbell Park for the 1A season. They stuck to the task, trusted their forwards, grinded it out, and Ryan McMahon comes up with the try. Wilkinson adds another 2. 7-5 the score. And a brilliant response from Old Belvedere. Clancy not happy with the restart as there was a player down injured, Jaden Beckett, just getting patched up. Incredible to think Jaden Beckett, entering his 4th season with the club, has played 58 consecutive AIL games now. Part of the furniture in the clubhouse. O'Connor goes to touch. Chris O'Connor, one of the new recruits here this season, came from Terenure College, went to school in St. Michael's, and was part of the Irish under-20 squad in the Junior World Cup in the summer. Milligan went to Down High School, as quite a few of these players did. That time, Belvedere get up and disrupt the ball. And you, Flood, get out of the way. Mitvin. Wilkinson engages the back line. All their options lining up. McMahon, the try scorer. They might go to the skies here. And they do through Meredith. And what a kick from the young fullback. 21 years old. Played in the Leicester Academy. And now pastures new in Old Belvedere. And they've grown into this game, the hosts. Not the ideal start. But the Ryan McMahon try has certainly settled them. A pressure line out coming up. But they do the job. Humphreys not waiting around, wants to get rid of it. And the wind is going to take it all the way over the dead ball line. And Old Belvedere will be coming straight back for the scrum. It's a good job those forwards didn't move much, because they don't have far to go. And they'll be licking their lips. Big scrum coming up here. A set piece. O'Connor will feed. But we'll have to go again, says George Clancy. Callum Dowling and Ryan McMahon, they've been on quite the journey together. Reached the Leinster Schools Senior Cup final in 2020, which was eventually cancelled between Clongowes and Newbridge. Callum Dowling was the captain of that Clongowes side. And now they're playing in Division 1A of the AIL together in the front row. Leonard, short line, goes himself, throws the dummy. MacDonald. McMahon already got one try. The forwards doing a lot of the hard work early on for Old Belvedere. Knock on though. And a chance for Ballynahinch to clear their lines. They might look to run it out. And they do just that. Rankin. Here's Sexton. But he doesn't want to run. He kicks it. And Meredith will run it back as far as he can. But he runs into traffic. Does well to stay on his feet. Mitvin, the New Zealander, meets some resistance. O'Connor shaping as if he's going to kick the ball. No real chase from old Belvedere. Balakoon, what can he do? But he's hit hard, illegally so. Penalty to Ballynahinch. The early try from Bradley Lunny for Ballynahinch was quickly cancelled out when Ryan McMahon got over the line for Belvedere. The rain starting to come down here in Ollie Campbell Park. Horrocks goes up. Humphreys. A little bit of dancing. Bryn Ward, former Irish under-20. Mark Best. But again, they're not really going anywhere, Ballynahinch. The Belvedere defence, very set. But as I say that, they go through a little gap. But there's hands on for Belvedere. And they've stolen it on the ground. Dowling. O'Connor takes on the responsibility. Swirling in the wind. And Sexton, he got up in the air and he collected it well. Burke, former Connacht player, the loose head. Humphreys, Best. Jaden Beckett, straight into his face. Crow. And Ballynahinch forced the risky pass. And they knock it on. And Meredith kicks it away. And it's been chased by Meredith. And Morgan Meredith, he's chasing it. He's kicking it along the ground. And Morgan Meredith used all his football skill there to score his very first Belvedere try. He once played football against Jude Bellingham. And he showcased all his football skills there to get his first try for his new club. Nobody came to collect the ball for Ballynahinch. Meredith up in chase. A routine 2 for Wilkinson. 14-5 the score. About 23 minutes gone. 3 tries already. Keating claims the restart. O'Connor happy to play the percentages. McCall goes to ground. Hinch just struggling to get front foot ball at the moment. Bryn Ward tries his best. And a penalty for Hinch. George Mitvin, the culprit. Humphreys puts everything on that. Milligan, first job, find his target. Horrocks brings it down. The maul moving slowly. Milligan still has it at the back. It's been transferred. Spinning around. They still have Hinch. Will they convert this into a score? But crossing at a vital time. A penalty for Belvedere as they alleviate the pressure. Belvedere travel to St. Mary's next week. For Hinch, they play UCD. And that'll be the end of the first block of fixtures. The rain holding off. Dowling finds MacDonald. Wilkinson opts for the kick. Sexton has a think about it. And now they have a chance to attack. But again, sloppy handling costs Hinch. And nothing going right for them in the last 15 or so minutes. Rob Ballynahinch hasn't had a sniff. Quentin O'Neill will be very happy with his team so far in this first half. The scrum goes straight down. It'll be reset. Was just waiting to see if Clancy was going to give the free kick there, but it's another scrum. All the options to the right of O'Connor. And they get the penalty. And the beast, Ryan McMahon, he gets the plaudits. Wilkinson, maybe half thinking about the kick, but he's going to the corner. And that Belvedere front row, it's scary. And the backup front row they have this season is scary as well. Thomas Connolly not involved today, but a seasoned campaigner in the AIL, signed for the club in the summer, as did Hugo O'Malley. The line out is good. Dowling tucks it under the arm, but he breaks off. McMahon wants it. He gets it. Belvedere, stay right. Leonard takes it up himself. Mitvin. McMahon, ever involved so far in the opening half an hour. Wilkinson to O'Sullivan. Came from Cork Con, an AIL winner in 2024. But Hinch just soaking up the pressure. Here's Leonard on the outside. Keating brings it back inside. McWay. Eddie Reese, the big man. He's double teamed. Does well to get to ground. Bryn Ward thinks he's on that ball. Not quite. O'Connor spots a bit of space. Can he execute the kick? But it's well tidied by Sexton. And Sexton, he has a good set of wheels on him, but Jack Keating says you're not going anywhere. They're forced to kick. Hinch. That's a good exit from Chris Gibson. His family big in Hinch Rugby Club. His granddad Arthur, one of the longest standing servants of Hinch RFC. Ballynahinch RFC. His grandfather actually won the Spence Award in 2019, which is given to members of the club that have dedicated their life to the rugby. Not too sure what's going on here. Free kick to Ballynahinch. Humphreys goes high and long. Wilkinson claims the mark. Just knocks it into touch. And Hinch in Belvedere territory now.
14-5 the score. About 7.5 minutes to go in this first half. McCall to Best. Scrum cap to scrum cap. Bryn Ward spinning. Looking for the extra meters. They come to the left. And they're all coming around the corner. And Lunny does really well to release Sexton. But again, that last pass costing Ballynahinch. And benefiting Belvedere. It looked like Lunny did really well to get it to Sexton. And O'Connor gets the line out, or gives the line out to Hinch. Hinch on an upward trajectory the last 3 seasons. 46 points at the end of the 23 season, 50 points at the end of the 24 season, and 51 points last season. Finishing 5th every time. And there's a sense in the club that it's only a matter of time before they make that top 4. Great to see the crowds back in the AIL. A lot of hype around it this summer across all 5 divisions. Horrocks collects it. Mark Best, what an offload. And Pierce Crowe gets the try, but it all comes from that lovely, scrumptious offload from Mark Best. He releases his centre, Pierce Crowe, who gets the try. And game on here in Ollie Campbell Park. And Humphreys brings it back to a 2-point game. There's an injury for Hinch. Connor Rankin, who took the conversion. Pierce Crowe with the try. And 14-12 the score. And a 2-point game with only a couple of minutes to the halftime interval. And Paul Kerr is in for Ballynahinch. Belvedere just need to reorganise now. Get into the halftime break. 2 points up. They'll be happy enough. But Hinch, they want more. And that's a great contest in the air. And it's hard to see who has their hands on that ball. But Jack Keating, he's won the possession for Belvedere. And Belvedere will have one last attack before the halftime break. A strong wind. Important to remember here in Ollie Campbell Park today and across the entire nation. Storm Amy causing havoc. Causing havoc with our commentary marquee here today as well. Flying around the place. It's actually Ballynahinch who have the scrum. And Chris Gibson puts it in. McCall. Humphreys. And well taken by Jaden Beckett. A real wrestle going on in the ground. Malwini gets it away to Connolly. And it's a penalty for Hinch. And they get on their bike. And Aaron Sexton, he's not the man you want to see running at you. But he loses it. He was in two minds. Looking for the support. Forgot to keep hold of the ball. And Aaron Sexton, he looked like he was away. But he was thinking of something else. And old Belvedere survived. Sexton tried his hand in the NFL pathway last season. Decided to come back to rugby last April. Former Ulster player. It's 40 on our clock. But as I always say, you never quite know what the referees have it in the AIL. We don't stop our clock. And Clancy would have been stopping his clock, so there might be 1 minute left here, or this could be it. Wilkinson says enough is enough. That's the halftime whistle. 14-12 the score. Bradley Lunny got the first score for Hinch. That was followed by two Belvedere tries from Ryan McMahon and the new boy Morgan Meredith. And Hinch reduced the deficit. A scrumptious pass from Mark Best released his centre Pierce Crow. That was converted by Conor Rankin. David Wilkinson adding the extras for Belvedere's two scores. 14-12 the score. We'll be back with you shortly for the second half. We're back for the second half. 2 points in it. Belvedere 14, Hinch 12. Pierce Crow getting a try just before the halftime break to pull Hinch back into it. McCall. Humphreys tries to get it to touch, but here's the try scorer, Meredith. Crawls for every metre. You Flood, the big man. McMahon. Move, he says. Leonard. Wilkinson, a nice loop on it, and Keating loses it in contact. Jack Keating, the most experienced player in this Belvedere team now. 75 caps, 99 tries. What a day to get your 100th, to mark the century if he could. Chances at a premium for both sets of wingers today. The elements have forced an in-tight game. And that looks like it's going to be Jack Keating's last involvement. Joe White comes in. He looked to pull up. Gibson. Not steady. We'll have to go again. Looking at the scores from across the division at the moment. St. Mary's 12-0 to the good away to Young Munster. UCD are losing 17-7 against 1A New Boys, Nina Ormond. Clontarf 15-3 up against Lansdowne. And Cork Con 28-7 in the lead against Terranure. Bryn Ward from the back. Ronan O'Sullivan deals with him. Lunny. Wasn't let down to get to ground. And Bradley Lunny wins the penalty for his side. Mr. Consistent in this team, Bradley Lunny, an Irish clubs international. 2 tries in 2 games now to start his season. Shouts of a crooked throw. Doesn't go to plan. And look who's coming on to that ball. Callum Dowling. O'Sullivan. Belvedere eager to get some go forward now. Leonard pokes one in behind. A bit too much on it. It's going to go all the way. And we'll come back. Callum Dowling, he's so dangerous from those sort of situations. Off the back of the line out. If you don't get your throw right, he'll punish you. Belvedere looked to move the ball quickly, but Justin Leonard just had a little bit too much on it. The wind pushing the ball over the dead goal line. The dead ball line. Gibson puts it on the plate, and Hinch get the penalty. A great effort from their front three. And Humphreys puts it into touch. Hugo O'Malley looks like he's getting ready to come on for Belvedere. Lunny delivers it to his scrum half. Bryn Ward through the middle. They switch the direction, but the pass is too much on it, and into touch it goes. The handling hasn't been perfect from Hinch. Belvedere, after the break, will host AIL champions Clontarf. Clash of the champions, the 1B champions against the 1A champions for last season. MacDonald brings it down, but not straight, says George Clancy. And Belvedere cough possession straight back up to Hinch. A win for Ballynahinch today would be huge. UCD not really firing at the moment, and Hinch have them next week. A real opportunity for Hinch to go 3 from 3 if they can win today. And again, they put the squeeze on at the scrum. Kerr. Here's Balakoon. Hasn't got much of the ball today. Bryn Ward revs up his engine. Out the back, Humphreys. Malwini. Good cohesion to this play. But as I say that, the commentators curse. Andre Ryan disrupts the ball, but he's knocked it on in the process. So Hinch can build again. Ronan O'Sullivan holding his knee on the ground. And Hugh Flood takes his place on the bench, replaced by Hugo O'Malley, joining from UCD this season. Mark Best, a big loss to Hinch towards the end of that first half. An injury forced him off. They also have Ethan Graham on the bench. Ballynahinch been in and around the Ulster picture. Played Ulster A last season. Came through the club system in Ulster from County Monaghan. Be interesting to see if he's utilised today. Gibson. Puts it in. Bryn Ward storms off the back. Beats up the defenders and gets the offload off to Bradley Lunny. And Lunny gets his second try, 3 in 2 games. But that all came from Bryn Ward off the back. No defender was going to stop him. And he gets the offload off to Bradley Lunny, his second of the game, his third of the season. And Hinch have the lead. And Ethan Graham, they must have heard me on commentary. He's coming in now. As is former Irish under-20, Josh Hanlon. And Rob Ballynahinch, his day is done. He's got about 50 minutes here today. They've missed the kick through Conor Rankin. 17-14 the score. Hinch in front. A run out today for Ballynahinch. For Ulster coaches to have a look at him and for him to get minutes into his legs. And that kick stumbles into touch. And not a bad result for Belvedere. Bryn Ward, of course, the son of former Irish international Andy Ward and the brother of Zach Ward, who was excellent for Ulster last weekend in their opening round victory over the Dragons. No problems at the line out. Humphreys puts it into touch. John Dixon comes in for Hinch. A lover of a raspberry ripple, I'm told. Looks like Ronan O'Sullivan is forced to come off here, limping. Was holding his knee earlier on, about 5 minutes ago. And he clearly can't take any more. His day is done. James Ruddy, the probable replacement. Mitvin comes onto it. And what a switch to Dowling. Here's O'Malley trying to work their way into the 22, old Belvedere. Only 3 points in the game. McMahon has the support of Eddie Reese on his shoulder. Leonard, Beckett. Shouts of offside from the crowd. George Clancy not budging. Eddie Reese. So hard to stop. Hinch making it messy, making it difficult, but Belvedere still have the ball. McMahon, very slow to come out. Leonard. Beckett doesn't use the support, takes it into contact himself. Screams of high tackle, but again, Clancy doesn't think so. Joe Malwini still feeling the effects of that hit. And they go through the gap. Will McDonald, and what an offload! And Ryan McMahon, he's already got one, and now he's got his second. And it's not every day your tight head prop gets 2 tries, but Ryan McMahon on his 50th cap has a brace. Will McDonald, out the back door, calm as you like. He knew where his forward was, and Ryan McMahon strolls in for the try. And Belvedere, they're back in front. A straightforward task for Wilkinson here. And there's the extra 2. 21-17 the score. And the kicks are the difference at the moment, the conversions. Wilkinson perfect from the tee, allowing for that 4-point advantage for Old Belvedere. And this game is a real back and forth encounter. But that's what 1A rugby is. No easy games. Nothing is straightforward. And Hinch, get up and contest. And Hinch have won it back. Goes to the right. Here's Crow. No easy tries, will be the message from Quentin O'Neill. Hinch still coming. Humphreys knocks one in behind. Wilkinson policing it. Does well. Gets plenty on that, David Wilkinson. Hinch will run it back through Sexton. And Belvedere get the penalty. And the Ollie Campbell roar, it's alive. And each team have had a purple patch today. At different stages. Wilkinson, is he thinking about the kick here? About 41 metres. Fairly central. Eddie Reese gets the applause as he says goodbye. Wilkinson strikes it. It has the legs. And it's a 7-point game here. And David Wilkinson, the difference. And also, both teams on 3 tries. So that means one more, they will get the try bonus point. And every point counts in AIL rugby. O'Connor back to the box kick. Hinch look to run it. Kerr. Belvedere must stay disciplined in defence. Ward Gets it to Sexton. But the touchline is the friend of Belvedere as it bounces out. But Belvedere a little bit relaxed on those restarts, inviting the pressure back onto themselves and allowing Hinch to get the ball back on a couple of occasions. Callum Dowling now shifted to the back row with Luke McLaughlin playing at hooker. Luke McLaughlin made his Irish under-20s debut in the summer. The line out is good. And they might one or two phases, build it one or two phases and then get rid of it. It's only going to be one phase. They don't find touch. And Hinch can come straight back at them. Rankin. Only into the hands of Ryan. And Ryan makes meters off that. He comes out on top. Sexton. Gibson just slowing things down, taking the sting out of the game. Belvedere feel they should add the penalty, but not rolling away, says the referee. And Hinch will have a chance to get it back in the Belvedere neighbourhood. Here, doesn't find touch. Costly error. And a little under 20 minutes to go here. Belvedere haven't lost a game in Ollie Campbell Park since last October. That was against Blackrock in round 3. 35-34 in 1B. Seven wins on the bounce. Can they make it 8? Gibson doesn't get much on that. An offside position gives Belvedere another penalty. And Wilkinson wants to go for the posts again. He's in form today. And he backs himself. Maybe 43 metres this one. His last one was about 41 metres. David Wilkinson, a vital player for the seniors and the J1 side last season, as they both achieved success in their respective divisions. And he's stepping up for the firsts today, as he did last week. But the perfect record is scratched. 4 from 5. Not to be for David Wilkinson. Seven-point game. 3 tries each. Mitvin from a standing start. And Hinch get the penalty for crossing. And again, the restarts are the issue for Belvedere. But Kerr miscues that one. It's in touch. But he got relatively low meters on that one. 15 minutes left here. Horrocks brings it down. And Ward, he's been the danger man in the second half for Hinch. Can he spring them back to life? McCall. Kerr. They try and kick it behind. Morgan Meredith knocks it. Sexton does well to tidy up, but Belvedere have hands on and they get the just penalty. But Morgan Meredith, he spotted that there was no one in the backfield. Aaron Sexton was tracking back and he got caught in possession, and another penalty for Belvedere. And David Wilkinson just having a word with Callum Dowling. What do you want to do here? And the boss comes over to his out half, has a think about it, and they're going for the posts. Callum Dowling says, fire ahead. This would push it out to a 2-score game, of course. Quite near this right touchline. The margin is 10 points. It's a 2-score game. Belvedere in the driving seat. It's all for Hinch to do. Will MacDonald is done for the day. Belvedere send it back with interest. And David Wilkinson, what a performance from the young out half. He has over 50 AIL caps, but he's still a young man. He's been around the block. And this is just the area that Belvedere will want Hinch to be playing their rugby. Keep them here, and we won't have any worries, says the Belvedere fans. Belvedere come in strong with the counter ruck. And they've got the ball back through Dowling. McWay. Wilkinson to Leonard. Meredith is bundled up. McMahon. Wilkinson to McWay. Belvedere happy to keep ball. McMahon. What an engine he has for a front row. Wilkinson flicks it in behind. Leonard watches the bounce. And another 3 looks likely. And they'll take all the time they need with this penalty. Run down the clock. But they're going to the corner. My apologies. Chasing the bonus point. McLaughlin, the thrower. But that one went behind McWay and into the hands of the waiting Hinch prop Dixon. And now Hinch can launch a counter-attack. But Beckett does well. Holds up the attacker. Gibson opts the kick. And it's out in the full. So we'll be going straight back. Belvedere teased the quick play. But Meredith just puts it down. And Belvedere still in the danger zone as they hunt for a fourth try that would guarantee them the 5 points if they were to win. But again, problems at the line out, but old Belvedere will have the put in at the scrum. McLaughlin on throwing duty now as Callum Dowling's playing in the back row. Played his schools rugby in the black row for Clongowes, did Callum Dowling. Oh, Belvedere won't mind this. Eating up the clock. About 7 minutes left on our clock. But you should always include 1 or 2 added on by Clancy. And Belvedere get the penalty. The front row stands strong. And again, McMahon getting the high fives. Third time lucky for McLaughlin. That it is. The forwards going to work. Rumbling forward. But it's gone down. They're going to have to use it. O'Malley. Dowling. No rush. This is all heavy lifting. The backs just stand back and watch. Patience. But Hinch get the penalty. Their defence was disciplined. But the clock isn't their friend. They need to get a move on. Again, skids off the boot for Paul Kerr. And Belvedere still on the doorstep. Will MacDonald comes back in. Justin Leonard says goodbye. As does George Mitvin. Maybe Clancy wants that to be thrown again. He does. Hinch might have to run it here. They need to chase the losing bonus point if nothing else. They have a bit of room out wide. And here's Sexton. But Joe White was all over him like a rash. No escape. And the voices are getting louder here in Ollie Campbell Park. A disciplined performance from Belvedere. A better line out. Simplified it. Saul Fitzpatrick in at scrum half. Can they get the bonus point? But it was knocked on. And a penalty. Maybe a bit of back chat there from Belvedere. Should be about 3 minutes left, maybe 4. Hinch looking for the losing bonus point. Got all 5 against Young Munster last week. Came out of the gates really quickly in that game. Raced into a 28-7 lead. But it's been a slog today. And what a hit from Belvedere. Hinch have nowhere to go at the moment. The defence doing their job and forcing the mistake. Knocked back. Go! And here comes the chase. But Sexton was watching it all the way and it went out over the line. But Belvedere will look to attack off this restart, but Hinch had the advantage from the knock on and they will play the scrum. But I think if you said to Quinton O'Neill that old Belvedere were going to get 2 wins from 2 in the opening 2 games of the AIL 1A season, he would have probably bitten your hand off. So 8 points on the board. St Mary's next week. A Dublin derby that needs no introduction. They've had many the battle in 1B of the AIL over the last few years, and they'll meet once again next week. And Belvedere get the intercept, and Joe White is going bonus points. Joe White, and it's the perfect day on the AIL 1A return for Belvedere. Joe White, the icing on the cake. All 5 in the bag. And the good times keep rolling in Ollie Campbell Park. Hello, Joe! Joe White. He played in 1A with Cork Con, and now he's playing in 1A with Belvedere. And the post denies Wilkinson. But that's that. 32-17, 2 from 2. Unbeaten start to the AIL 1A season for Belvedere. 4 tries. The perfect homecoming. St Mary's next week. We'll see you in a few weeks' time for Belvedere versus Clontarf as the Bulls are in town. But until then, have a good one.